Hi, my name's Cassandra, and I'll be telling you about the love story of Abelard and Heloise, translated by John Hughes. Now let's get started with a brief summary. Excerpt 1 is a letter between Abelard and a friend of his named Phalantus. He wrote to him expressing how in love he was with Heloise and mesmerized by her beauty. He became acquainted with her uncle, Fulton, a powerful man in Paris, and offered a seat at his table and paid a hefty price to rent an apartment in his home. Fulton ordered Abelard to teach philosophy to Heloise. Abelard and Heloise met in private and began professing their love to each other. Rumors spread about their relationship and reached Fulton, so he was forced to act and send Abelard out of his home and far away. Abelard, having hope, believed that they could make their relationship work because it was strong even with the distance between them. In Excerpt 2, the letter from Heloise to Abelard, Heloise was struggling with the distance her uncle had caused between them. She was extremely pleased with the void that the letters did fill in her heart. Letters can express passion and love because they have a voice, and she appreciated them so much she feared them having taken away from her. In Excerpt 3, Abelard writes to Heloise expressing his struggles. He said it might be easier if they would try to forget each other and move on, but it wasn't so easy. He could not think of anything else besides loving Heloise. He struggles with losing himself and his passion of philosophy due to Fulton, but losing Heloise was way worse feeling. 300 miles separated them, and it was impossible for them to be reunited again. They both knew it. Abelard wondered why God was punishing him and Heloise. They both needed to be saved by God, so Abelard was trying to convince Heloise that they needed to forget about each other to be forgiven. Abelard told Heloise that if he should die before her, he will decide to have his body sent to her, so when she dies they can be buried together. In Excerpt 4, the last lines of Heloise's letters to Abelard, she responds to him saying that the purpose of her life is to love him. Abelard is her reason for living, and if he were to die, she would die too, so they can be buried together and reunited in death. I have a friend here, Michael, who wants to ask me my thoughts on the love letters between Abelard and Heloise.
What moments, scenes, or ideas in the letters between Abelard and Heloise contribute to your understanding of the cultures, values, and society in which was produced?
I believe the stories of Abelard and Heloise were created in times where women were undervalued by men. They were not allowed to make their own choices. Men craved power and had to constantly prove themselves. Men thought of women as property and something they could control. This was proven because Heloise had no freedom of choice. It shows when Fulton, Heloise's uncle, decided her fate and sent Abelard 300 miles away. I also believe that Heloise and Abelard were rebellious against Fulton and God because religion was a big part of the story when they wondered if they will repent and be forgiven by him. Abelard and Heloise snuck around to meet with each other, and after separated even sent messages in secret with being 300 miles away. Pretty rebellious if you ask me. I believe another main culture is when men were made to rule everything, especially women. They valued and craved power, and the control gave them that power. Fulton felt pressure from his people who were telling him the rumors of them seeing Abelard and Heloise and was forced to act because if he didn't, he would have been perceived as weak. Fulton initially had suspicion when he walked in on a conversation between Abelard and Heloise, but ignored it until the rumors surfaced.
Which moments, scenes, and ideas in this work contribute to your understanding of your own culture and the values of your society?
Thank you for asking, Michael. In my culture and society, we value and care for our family. There is nothing we wouldn't do to protect each other. We also crave power. In this tragic love story, the love that Heloise and Abelard share is something valued by many people looking for their potential partner. They were willing to do anything to keep their love strong and souls connected. Distance tested the relationship, but they always professed their love for each other, and that is something to value 1,000 years ago and today. Fulton, the overprotective uncle who craved power, probably believed he was doing what was best for Heloise and looking out for her. We all have that overprotective aunt or uncle, am I right? We all want to have power. Some people just get it in different ways. Society puts a lot of pressure on us in our everyday lives to be perfect, but what is perfect? I believe we all do our best to live up to the standards of society. Some may crave power more than others and compensate with weapons and cruelty to live up to what they believe is powerful. Others do great things like help the homeless, volunteer, and donate to charity. Fulton was feeling the pressures of his society, but the rumors about Abelard and Heloise seeing each other romantically, and that was forbidden, so the pressure he felt by the people caused him to act and do something about it.
Would you recommend this text to others? If so, why or why not?
Yes, Michael, I would recommend this text to an older audience who can learn about the cultures and societies from years ago and are mature enough to hear it. I would, however, not recommend this tragic love story to a young audience. The letters between Abelard and Heloise bring light to contemplating suicide, and while it is important to be educated, I wouldn't want young people to feel like they need physical affection from someone, like a boyfriend, to be alive. All right, this concludes my thoughts on the love letters between Abelard and Heloise. Thanks for listening.